make up that quiz, okay? All right, so we have a guest speaker, Mr. Hicks. I'm going to let him introduce himself and all his credentials. We're just so happy that you all will get to actually listen to him. You ever have a find a seat anywhere y'all can find one, ladies. And I'm so glad because fourth period didn't get the opportunity to really hear his presentation. So the students earlier today really enjoyed the information that he shared with them, and so I'm going to turn it over to him. Here's your clicker again, Mr. Hicks. Step back up.
I told you I was coming right.
There we go. You said what you want to. No, there's nobody said. Oh, well, it's up to you.
Ready? Hey y'all, good morning. We got till 12. 11:40. 11:40. Okay. All right. Good. Good morning. I am Herman Hicks, and I am the founder of Elevated Development, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that's focused on building wealth. Okay. Y'all with me? Yes, sir. I've got one of my board members here with me, Adrian Tremelove. Everybody wave at Adrian. She is also a client of mine. Okay? So what Elevated Development is, our mission is to confront multi-generational poverty and financial deficiencies by closing the wealth gap. Okay? We do that by using something called the Circle of Wealth, which I know Sydney has had the pleasure of listening to. And so, as a private banker, my day job, I manage legal private banking. Okay, what that means is I work with lawyers, judges, law firms. All right. Through that avenue, I also get a chance to work with business owners, real estate investors, athletes, entertainers, investors, you have it. Affluent and high net worth individuals and families. All right. Typically, my threshold is $1 million or more in investable assets. Can anybody tell me what investable assets are?
Like liquid funds that you can put towards a project.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Y'all hear that? That was right. Liquid funds you can put towards a project. Okay? So, not only at Elevated Development do we teach principles of building wealth, we also try to provide capital so you can invest in those principles. Okay? Capitalism. Y'all know what capitalism is, right? Fee for service, incentive for performance. So as you engage with us, you can get incentivized for that. All right? So I got a stack. I got a couple of stacks, as a matter of fact. So the first class, I think somebody ran away with a bunch of money.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of money. And so y'all have the opportunity, too. It's capitalism. So you have an opportunity to walk away with some. It talks to you or you working with somebody in the financial field, you want to make sure they have credibility. So that's what I'm doing for you now, is talking to you about our credibility, my credibility to be up here standing talking to you. All right. So I've been in the industry over 20 years, and I've had the opportunity of working with billionaires and millionaires, very well accomplished attorneys and real estate investors, all types of stuff. So the information that I'm passing to you all is information I've learned over 20 years. And my goal is for you to be prepared to build wealth. Now, does anybody want to be broke in here? Can you grow up? All right, I'm in the right place. Wonderful, I'm in the right place. Okay. So, one thing that I think is important is that you take away emotions when we talk about building wealth. All right? We take away emotions. A lot of people in my generation are tied to a credit score, tied to their checking account, tied to different things. We want to implement science, and I'm not talking about biology. I'm talking about just scientific knowledge, strategy. All right? This is about strategy. So let's keep it going. So the circle of wealth is where we start. All right, that's how we start into this conversation. Okay, first place in the building wealth is sources of income. Okay, so skill set, passion. We want you to monetize your skill set and passion. It's not all about always going to college. I want all of y'all to go to college, but some of y'all might not go to college. Same token, somebody in here is going to be a millionaire. And I think Mr. Norton said earlier it was a couple of people that was going to be a millionaire. So somebody here statistically is going to be a millionaire. So it's about monetizing your source of income. Cane Ridge. Y'all familiar with Cane Ridge? Yeah. Rival. So Cane Ridge had people in the bathroom cutting hair at lunchtime. So they called me over there to talk to these young entrepreneurs because they were getting in trouble, but they were also making money. All right? So one thing that I learned about being a barber is guess how old you have to be to get your barber's license? Does anybody know?
Like 21.
No? Good guess, though.
Like 17.
Good guess, but no.
15.
Too low.
Is it 19?
No.
16.
16.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it, bro.
Who in here is 16 years old?
One number, bro.
Y'all can literally get your barber's license and make money right now. Okay? 16. Okay? So, with source of income, get a college degree, get a certification, get something where you can charge somebody some money. I have a college degree, I have a master's degree, I have several certifications and licenses. Adrian has a college degree. She has something called a Juris Doctorate. Does anybody know what a Juris Doctorate is? JD. She has a law degree and passed the bar. Okay? She probably has some more certifications as well. Yeah, give her a hand. That's rough.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all can do it too. You can do it too.
So that's the point, because you got to make money to build wealth. Source of income protects your credit. True story. True story. I went to college at 18. This is why I'm telling y'all this now. Went to college at 18. I didn't have a source of income. I got 2 credit cards. Y'all know what credit cards are, right? It's a loan. Debit cards are tied to your checking account. Credit cards are loans. Did I do it? Okay.
You point it up there. Is it not working? The red laser?
Yeah.
No, the red laser.
Oh.
So you don't have to go up there. You go.
Ah. Gotcha.
That's it.
Gotcha. Credit. Okay. 2 credit cards, $1,000, didn't have a source of income. Okay. Guess what? Those credit cards got charged off. Y'all know what that means? That means I couldn't pay them. The credit card company said, we're charging these off. We're going to affect your credit. They affect my credit score. How long? Guess how long that stayed on my credit report? Anybody have any idea how long it stayed? Your hand was up first. How much? 10. How did you know that? 10 years.
Why you blocking her blessings?
You didn't do that.
Just FYI, this is my class with the highest grade point averages on their tests and stuff.
Okay.
So they're superstars.
Really? But y'all gotta have some integrity, okay? Y'all gotta have some integrity. All right. So credit score. So that's that on my credit report. 10 years, y'all. I don't want that to happen to anybody here. So you gotta have a source of income to protect your credit. In terms of building wealth, the reason why we want a good credit score is for low interest rates. When I'm dealing with wealthy individuals, I never see high interest rates. Why? Because if I'm keeping my interest rates low, that means I have more money to invest. Y'all get that concept? Y'all with it? Okay? So take the emotions out of credit. All right? Don't stop at a good credit score. That means a lot, but it's not going to build wealth for you. Okay? Building wealth is a lot more than just a good credit score. All right? So 3 things that's on your credit: mortgages, house, installments, which is the cars, and revolving, which are credit cards. Those are your 3 categories. That's simple. The credit score is an algorithm, scientific. Does anybody know what the highest credit score is? Your hand was up first. 8. Boom. 850. Does anybody care what the lowest credit score is? No, nobody cares. Nobody cares. An excellent credit score is 760. So it's at 760. At 760, you get the lowest interest rates. All right. So lifestyle management. Lifestyle management is your cash flow, is your budget. Okay. The reason why we want to maintain this lifestyle, thank you, Adrian. The reason why we want to maintain this is we want to save to invest, okay? We want to have money to invest, all right? So if you're not going to be a anesthesiologist or a neurosurgeon where you're making a whole bunch of money, then you're going to have to learn to save to invest, all right? So we use something called debt to income to manage our lifestyle, all right? Debt to income is your credit report items. So my monthly debt divided by my monthly income. Very simple. We want that to be 45% or less. So if my monthly income is $1,000 and my monthly debt is if my monthly debt is $1,000, my monthly income is $2,000. My monthly debt is $1,000 on the top. Income is $2,000. What would be my debt to income? 50%. Is that good or bad? Why?
You want 45%.
Does anybody know why we want 45% or less? When we go buy a house. When you go buy your first home, they're going to check your income, they're going to check your credit, they're going to check your debt to income. Your debt to income, you can have good income, good credit. If your debt to income is 55%, not getting it. I'm telling you that firsthand as a banker, okay? Got to keep that in order. We also want to keep it in order because, why? We want to invest money. We want to be able to invest. So if our debt to income is 65%, we're not going to have a whole lot of money to invest. Quick correlation. If I see a debt to income, what do I normally see with the credit score? Lower. You see the correlation? High debt to income, low credit score. All right? All works together. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. So this side of the circle is financial literacy. All right? Cash flow management. All right? So now we move into retirement. Retirement is where we get into stocks and bonds and things of that nature. We're going to talk about that more. And then we also move into the opportunity fund. There's 3 ways to build wealth. We're talking about that today too. Real estate, stock market, and business. Okay? That's what you want to grow. That's what you want to protect. That's what you want to transfer. That's what you call generational wealth. So when you hear people talk about generational wealth, that's what they're talking about, the opportunity fund. They may not call it the opportunity fund. They may not even know what they're talking about, but that's what they're talking about. This throws off residual income or pass-through income that rolls back up to sources of income. So my goal for you all is to get y'all around this circle as many times as possible, because every time you get around, that's $1 million. I'm just kidding, that's not $1 million. But every time you get around, you're making money. You're building wealth at that point, all right? So, when should you start investing?
Yeah.
And how do you start investing now? Start with emergency fund. Yes. Thank you. Let's see your integrity. Give me some integrity. All right, I like it. Just for integrity, I appreciate it. See, integrity gets you a long way. Integrity gets you a long way. All right. So, can anybody tell me how many months you're supposed to have in savings?
6 months worth.
6 months. 3 to 6 months in savings, okay? Very important. This is very, very important. We're going to talk about it. So I'm going to jump down to time horizon, okay? When you're investing, time horizon is important. Savings account is important. Why? Had somebody come to me, they had $20,000 to invest. I'll never forget this. They wanted to invest $20,000 in the stock market. All right, I said, cool, all right, cool. I asked them, do you have any requirements for this $20,000 over the next 6 to 12 months? Yes, I'm looking to buy a house. Do you need part of this $20,000 as your down payment? Yes, I do. Well, guess what? Based on your time horizon where you need this money, this is not something you want to put in the stock market. Why? Because the stock market is a long-term investment. You understand? So when you're thinking about investing, you don't need to invest your emergency fund. Okay? Let me say that again. Don't invest your emergency fund. Why? Because then you'll be pulling that money right back out. And guess what? When you pull that money out, you're going to pay something called capital gains tax. Does anybody know what capital gains tax is?
Is to prevent buying on the margins, so you can't buy one day and then.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for the percentage.
Oh.
How much do you owe on capital gains tax? You can't Google it, Integrity. I'm going to take my dollar back. Capital gains tax is 25%.
Oh my gosh, it's ready.
You should have threw your hand up. 25%. So what does that mean? That means if I sell an asset, they taking a fourth of it. That means if I net $1 million on the sale of an asset, guess how much I got to pay in capital gains? $250. Now you can have offsets, but guess what? They only allow you to write off $3,000 a year in capital gains loss. So you're going to pay capital gains tax. All right, that's important. So we talked about time horizon. We don't want to invest short-term money into a long-term asset. We don't want to invest our savings account, our emergency fund into the stock market, okay? Because we want to keep that for emergencies. Stocks and bonds. The last class killed this. They knew this. What's a stock?
It's like when you're like a shareholder of a company.
Absolutely. You're a shareholder of a company. Can you reach that? I'll put that right there. All right. Shareholder of a company, okay? We talked about this earlier. Can anybody tell me what the most expensive stock is on the market right now? Right.
Is that Amazon?
No, great answer, but no.
I want to say Apple, or is it Peloton or Apple?
Great answer, but no. Great answer, but no.
I was gonna say Tesla.
Great answer, but no.
Google.
Sorry.
Bitcoin?
Who?
That's not
Crypto.
Oh.
Y'all know Warren Buffett? I'm going to give y'all a hint. Who knows Warren Buffett? What does he own? Starts with a B.
Bitcoin.
Berkshire Hathaway. Yes. It's trading over $500,000 a share. Yeah. Yeah. So if I own 2 shares, I'm a millionaire. That's simple. Okay? Bonds. Anybody can tell me what a bond is?
It's money you pay to government, and then at the end they have a set rate, and your money is insured to not like go below what you put in. So you pay it, and then it grows.
You was a little bit right. Nothing in the market is insured.
Not insured.
Okay? You do pay, you buy the bond, you get interest, and then they pay it back to you in interest. So a bond is, I'm gonna give it to you. A bond is debt of a company. So if I'm Nike and I want to expand into China, I want to build $1 billion facility in China, then I can raise bonds. I can sell y'all bonds to finance that operation. Y'all understand? Who's been in the Music City Center? Y'all know the Music City Center downtown? That was a bond raise. Okay? Goldman Sachs. Y'all heard of Goldman Sachs? They administered the bonds to sell to individuals all over the world to finance the Music City Center. Bridgestone, Titan State, any big municipal, these schools could be bonds. Okay? We're talking about retirement. Rule of 72. Y'all heard of that?
Yeah.
It's when you divide 72 over like the amount of percentage of interest you get.
That's good, boy. That's good right there. That's good. That's good cooking right there. Y'all just learned it. That's what I just heard. Y'all just,
They just had a test on it yesterday.
So it's how you double. Just let you know when you double your money. That's all it is. Okay. So 72 divided by the interest rate gives you your years. So if my interest rate is 9%, how long is it going to take me to double my money? 8 years.
He said a long time.
8 years. Well, what if your money's 30 million and you double it to 6?
That ain't a long time to wait then.
All right. Mr. Owns capital gain. Okay. So if I own stocks, what do stocks pay?
Dividends.
Dividends. What do bonds pay?
Interest.
Interest income. Very good. Okay, so we're going to talk about risk tolerance. All right? So when you're investing in the market, okay, you have to understand what your risk tolerance is. Okay? So if you have a low risk tolerance, you don't want to get into risky investments. Meaning if you can't stomach a loss. Okay? I have so many people that come to me and they bring me $500,000 to invest. We invest the money, and then a month later, it's worth $475. They're going crazy. They're ready to sell. No. That's not what you do. Okay? Remember, this is a long-term investment. If you purchase or if you invest at $500,000 and your account drops to $475, you've lost how much? $25,000. if you sell, listen to me. If you sell at 475, that means you've locked in your losses forever. Let me say that again. If you sell low, that means you've locked in your losses forever. You don't want to do that. Stock market is a long-term investment. You got to ride it, okay? So you need to determine what your risk tolerance is. If I got a high risk tolerance, then I'm going to invest in futures, options, peer-to-peer lending. That means Adrian gives me a loan and she hopes that I pay her back. I'll pay her back.
I know where you live.
Yeah, exactly. Cryptocurrencies. Okay, we're going to talk about crypto in a minute, okay? So crypto knows that it's just a piece of the pie. It shouldn't be your full investment. That's what I'm telling everybody. If you drop all your money into crypto, you'll be real mad right now. Real mad. But you'd be happy too. I don't know what you would be. Because one day you're going to be happy, one day you're going to be mad. That's how, because it's a lot of volatility, very high risk. You can't secure it. You can't put protection strategies around crypto. Okay? Moderate is what y'all were talking about. Tesla, Apple, those stocks. Okay? They call high cap, mid cap, low cap. Okay? Blue chip. Okay? So things that are going to be here probably that the government will bail out. Okay? And then you got your low risk. Your low risk is closer to cash. All right? So if I got a government T-bill, what is that? Is that high risk, low risk, moderate?
Low risk.
Low risk. Why?
Because it has probably a set rate and it will not have that much volatility.
It's insured by the U.S. government. So if the U.S. government folds, that means you lost your money. If the U.S. government folds, we got much bigger problems than that. Okay? What if I get a margin account and I buy penny stock? Is that high risk, low risk, moderate? Back in the back.
High risk?
Why is that high?
Because
it's on the board.
Yeah.
Guess what? This is capitalism. You get $1 anyway. All right. So y'all got that. So everybody good with risk tolerance? So if I am moving closer to retirement, okay, let's say I'm 45 and I'm 45 and I want to retire at 50. Do I want to be in high, mid, or low? Why? I like it. I like it. If you're closer to retirement, you want to invest in lower risk, okay? Right now, all of y'all are less than 18, I believe. So when you all start getting into the market, you're 18? Okay. So you can be in the credit report. Yippee. Is that what you said?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Anybody know what the 3 credit reports are? Y'all should know this.
Yeah,
I know Experian is one of them.
Equifax. Just you.
Experian, Equifax, TransUnion.
I swear it's one of them.
So if my DTI is 55%, what should my risk tolerance be? There's no correlation. No, I'm sorry. There's always correlation. It's always, everything is relative. But in terms of building wealth, there's really no correlation. Because if your debt to income is at 55%, you're worried about paying your bills and living as opposed to investing in the market. Because you're going to end up pulling that money out to pay for something else. I've seen it happen too many times. Okay? That was a trick question. All right, so let's talk about retirement accounts. Okay, so who in here has a job? Who in here has taxes taken out of your check?
What? I'm trying to get mine back right now.
Yeah. Well, this is a great way to get it back right now. Okay? So retirement accounts. Do we know why retirement accounts are a subset of stock market investments?
Because if you take the money out of the account before a certain age, 55 and a half, 56 and a half,
59 and a half.
59 and a half, then you don't have it. You have tax if you take it out before, but if you take it out after that, then it's specifically a Roth IRA. It's tax free.
I'm gonna give you $1 because that wasn't the answer to my question, but that was a great point. No, that was a great point. That was a great point. So, we're going to go to Roth, but he mentioned something about Roth that's very important.
Don't companies like Vanderbilt, like, don't they, like, for their employees, don't they put it in stock market some of their retirement?
Pass that back for me. Yes, they put it in the market. Okay. The reason why we want to invest in retirement accounts is a 3-letter word that starts with T. Tax. These are tax advantaged. Okay? If somebody tells you not to invest in these, run. They're not credible. Okay? They're trying to sell you a product so they can eat. Did y'all hear me? They hustling you. Okay? They want you to buy something else so you can buy from them because the government manages these right here. The IRS. All right? These are tax advantaged. Okay? So for everybody that works, if you invest in one of these, you offset your taxes. So the more you put into these accounts, the more your tax liability goes down. Say that again. You invest in these accounts, your tax liability. I have clients right now, January 1st. No, I'm sorry. February 1st, after they get their first check, they fund all of their retirement accounts immediately. So if I'm making $50,000 a month, okay, that's my bring home. So February 28th, February 31st, no, I'm just kidding. February 28th, I got a check for $35,000, okay? All right. I can fund my 401k. That's $17,000 a month, a year. I can fund that day one, first check. I can go ahead and fund my traditional at $6,000, okay? First check. I got people that fund it first check. Why do they fund the first check? Because it's tax advantage investing. They're allowed to take advantage of stocks and bonds in the market. They take advantage of the growth that's tax free. And in the case of a Roth IRA, you get that money back tax free. Okay? So, do y'all know why there's limits of 6,000 and 19,000? 19,000 on the 401k and 7,000 on the IRA?
To prevent money laundering, so you don't have to pay taxes on anything.
Exactly. Because if I'm Warren Buffett and I got $50 billion and I got $500 million, I would drop it right into an IRA. But guess what? These are all tax advantage, so you have limits on it. Roth IRA is the best one you can, well, I ain't going to say Roth IRA is the best, but Roth IRA comes back to you tax-free, okay? So they put a cap on your income. So if you make more than $105,000 right now, you can't invest in a Roth IRA. So y'all need to start investing in a Roth right now because some of y'all going to be making $50,000, $60,000 a month, okay? So y'all got to start investing now into a Roth. Go ahead and open a Roth because guess what? We call it backdoor. You can invest in a traditional and then you can backdoor into a Roth. It's a little sophisticated. We're not going to get into that, but you can do that, all right? So 59.5, you take the money. 70.5, you have to take the money, all right? These are beneficial because you write these off on your taxes. Simple. Has anybody ever heard of a SEP IRA or simple IRA? Who here wants to own a business? My business owners can invest in a SEP and a simple. Y'all hear that? It's not 6,000 is the limit. It's a percentage of your revenue. So it can be more than 6,000. And it's a dollar for dollar tax write-off. Y'all understand that? So if I make 100,000 and I can put 15,000 in myself, that means my tax liability is 85. Y'all hear that? Just want to make sure y'all understand it. I'm talking fast, okay? All right. So simple. Define benefit plan. All that is when your corporation that you work for values your work, they want to create a different bucket to make you money. Okay? Thing I don't have on here stock options either. Stock options is another. It's not a retirement, but it's more so an investment. But defined benefit plan falls up under the retirement account. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Any myths out here about these accounts?
I can add a fact about these accounts. They cannot be touched by the bankruptcy court. It doesn't matter how much money's in there. You can have $2 million in there and still file bankruptcy.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
She already making baby.
I mean,
Did y'all hear that? That's so important. I forgot to tell y'all that. That was on my list. You can't. It had a judge. The only time I've seen these busted up is in divorce court. That's it. But guess what? Big old bad bank. You default on something or you get sued, can't touch it. Cannot touch it. Bankruptcy, can't touch it. I don't know. Can a judge in bankruptcy?
The only time a bankruptcy trustee or judge can touch it is if you dump a bunch of money in contemplation of filing bankruptcy. Oh, I know I need to file. Let me put all my money in my IRA.
Boom.
They can go get it. Other than that,
Yeah.
can't
Just
touch
that
it.
money or like the rest of it as well? If you have already like a set amount in your IRA.
They would go through and have a forensic accountant look at it. So if you already had $2 million in there, but you dumped another $2 million in contemplation, they'll figure it out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't take the 4. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then the other thing,
Keep that in your back pocket.
Let's hope you don't file for bankruptcy first of all.
Just in case.
and the other important thing to know about these accounts is they are what we call beneficiary accounts. What does that mean?
They can be passed down to like somebody that you like want to have your money.
Yes, a designated person. What's the difference in beneficiary accounts and probate? We have an attorney on staff. Are you comfortable with answering this question? So we have an attorney. So tell us about probate, Adrian.
It's a long, drawn-out process for your loved ones. You just lost somebody that you love. They didn't name a beneficiary. They left it blank on their account. So you have to go to the probate court, go before a judge, explain to this judge your family tree and why you should be entitled to this money. You're going to have cousins from Mississippi come up out of the woodworks and fight you about it. And then you wait on a judge to determine in probate court who's entitled to these funds. Whereas with a beneficiary account, it just passes by contract. Whose name is on it? Okay, boom, here's your check.
Boom. That,
Can I add one thing?
Absolutely.
And correct me if I'm wrong. The probate normally happens when a person also doesn't have a will, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, when you set these accounts up, you set them up with a beneficiary. They make you set them up with a beneficiary. When you go and you invest in real estate, when you go and you invest in a business, when you go and invest in the stock market outside of retirement, there's no beneficiary. You have to go and create a will, okay? When we talk about generational wealth, that's where the generational part falls off, okay? Because people typically don't set up these what we call protection and transfer strategies. However, these are set up for you. These are very beneficial. I'll say it again. If somebody tells you not to invest in these, run. You make a conscious effort not to invest in these if you don't think that these are your investments that you want to deal with. But if somebody's trying to trick you to not invest, run, okay? Think about investing in these early, all right? Get this started early because this is your foundation. If you fall down, this is where you fall because Adrian just told us nobody can come and take it. The only time I've seen it taken is in divorce court where a judge breaks up a 401k, husband and wife, divorce, okay? Any questions? Y'all good? Just keep it moving. Blockchain. Who here owns some Bitcoin? Nobody. You got to be 18. Damn, I'm not going to everything. All right. So on the blockchain, this is a nuance. Now I want y'all to know this should never be your primary investment right now. Okay? This shouldn't be the only thing that you're doing. Why?
It's very volatile.
Very volatile. You can lose all your money here. You could be a millionaire here. There's all types of stuff that can happen to you. Okay? Plus, guess what? This is not legislated. There's no legislation around this yet. They're digging in it right now. As we speak, they're in some room like this. They're not having as much fun and they're not passing out money, but they're talking about this stuff right here, how they can get money out your pocket back to the government. Y'all remember the capital gains tax is what? That's the minimum that's going to go right here. Y'all feel me? Y'all with me? Okay. So, crypto, this is all on the blockchain, okay? You mine this stuff, all right? This is all nuance. So I'm still learning about a lot of this stuff. But I know financial institutions are big on crypto right now because we don't want to get left behind, all right? So it's digital currency worldwide. It's a medium of exchange. That means you can exchange it. That means I can buy Bitcoin and then change it over to money, to cash rather. Okay. You buy it on Coinbase. You can actually buy it on Cash App. There's all types of different places you can buy it, and there's all kind of coins you can buy. Okay. Right now, I think Bitcoin's trading. The price of a coin is 44,000, 45,000. It got up to 55,000 at one time. So now it's just doing this right here. So the drive in cryptocurrency is to buy early. It's to take a risk early. It's like the penny stock, okay? You take a risk early and hope that that turns into something, and then you get out of it as you move up. So my recommendation or suggestion, this is just a recommendation or suggestion, is as your profits go up, and this is what I do personally, as I see it go up, I take it out. Goes up, I take it out because it's too volatile. Okay? Does that make sense? Question.
So every time you take it out, you have to pay that tax?
See, that's the thing. I think my increments are so low that I haven't received a 1099 or any tax document saying I owe taxes on it. That's what makes me nervous. That makes me nervous right there. And I talk to other people and they say no, but then I talk to some people and they say they have had to pay taxes, but it's on larger amounts. So great question. But again, they're in a room right now chopping it up, trying to figure out what they're going to do with it. Great question. Okay. So conversely, NFTs. Anybody own an NFT? Anybody create them? Okay. So the good thing about NFTs is that it's a digital token. So it authenticates an item. So if I go buy some Jordans and it's a one-of-a-kind pair of Jordans, I can attach an NFT to it, a non-fungible token. Okay? That will authenticate that pair of Jordans because there's no NFT that's similar. It's like DNA. Y'all follow me? So you can authenticate assets. One thing that I know Nike is toying around with is creating NFTs for all of their specialized shoes. That's why I brought up Nike. Okay? So it's unique. You can purchase it on OpenSea Async Art Foundation. And usually they use that people buy them with crypto. So it's a metaverse situation. Okay? This is all new to me. All right? This is all new to y'all. This is all new to everybody. So we're still fumbling through this right now. But I think it's worthy enough to talk about it from an investment standpoint. Your professor wanted to also bring it up too. This is not your full pie of assets. This is not your only asset allocation is what it's called. When you look at your pie of assets, you don't want crypto and NFTs to be the only thing you're doing. It's going to be a roller coaster of headaches and sickness. Okay? You want it to be a small piece right now. Okay? Any questions on this? Does anybody know some stuff that I don't know?
I was gonna ask a question.
Okay.
So like I was talking to this guy and he was like, I know this other person that can like mine Bitcoin using like GPUs on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And that way he'd like passively make like $40 a day. But I have no idea what like that means.
So that's how Bitcoin. That's how you gotta mine you gotta mine it on Bitcoin. That's the part that I don't fully understand. Do you have any understanding? I don't understand the mining piece of the Bitcoin. Do you got anything to add on?
So just FYI, I put some videos on your Schoology page in the video section about that because NBC News for about the last month they've been doing little stories every night on the evening news about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and so there's a video about mining on there, I think.
Yeah. And I got a 40-page document that I can send to you. Bank of America did an expose on it, a deep dive on it that I'll send to you.
Okay.
That talks a little bit about all of that because what you'll find is if you look at the big financial firms. It's on everybody's balance sheet. They're buying up the cryptocurrency. Okay, and it's a coin coming out all the time. But Bitcoin and Ethereum are the most popular. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep going. All right, let's talk about business real quick. Okay. And we said we had some business owners in here, right? So there's 3 ways you can basically start a business, okay, or expand a business. You can start it using your own money. That's balance sheet. We call that balance sheet. So if y'all start a business, you use your own money to get started, okay? Or you can get a loan. That's leverage. Go to the bank, go to peer-to-peer, get a loan. Or you can call an investor and get them to help you start your business. So Adrian, starting your law practice, did you do it with your own money? Did you get a loan? Or did you have investors?
I used my own money.
Own money. There you go. Okay? If you're wanting to expand your business, same 3 areas. Okay? This is the piece that people miss. This is why it's up on the screen. Nobody talks about this right here. But this is what starting and expanding a business looks like. There are all kind of other steps. Creating the LLC, creating an S Corp, C Corp. As a matter of fact, can you run through that really quick? S Corp, C Corp, LLC.
Let's start with LLC. It stands for Limited Liability Company. It is a business organization, and it creates a different individual in the eyes of the law. So you started your business, but you formed an LLC who is sitting right here beside you and is another individual that can have its own cash, its own credit, own its own assets. The LLC purpose is to protect your personal assets. So if I have a trucking company and I hit somebody and I cause damage, that person can't sue me personally. They can't come after my house, my bank account. They can only go after my LLC assets. Hence, limited liability. Corporation is another business structure. It sells shares of the business to shareholders. So the difference between an LLC and a corporation is the way they're organized. An LLC is managed by members or managers who make the day-to-day decisions, and the profits are normally shared individually between them. A corporation, shares and dividends are paid. So shares, the owners buy shares of the company, and the shares pay dividends. Corporations are really good for huge businesses that need a whole lot of capital to get started. S corporations are limited. They're the same principle as a corporation, but they're for businesses that have 50 or less shareholders. So when I think of an S corp, I think about a family farm or a small family business, family-run business, where you have lots of cousins, aunties, uncles in this business, and it's an easy way to send everyone's dividends, but they don't need the benefit of a huge corporation that has to answer to the SEC and file annual reports and things like that. So the difference is the size and the reporting requirements. Make sense? All 3 have that limited liability component where nobody can be sued personally for what the business does.
Nice. So, y'all heard of Slim and Huskies, right? Y'all like that pizza? Wonderful. Slim and Huskies is one of my clients, okay? And they're an outspoken client. That's why I'm able to talk about them right now. So, Slim and Huskies, y'all see they popping up everywhere. So they had to have an expansion plan, okay? I think I did. Did I do something?
That's probably me. Hey, we got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Slim and Huskies has an expansion plan. So they used those 3 items to expand all over the city. They use investors, they use leverage, and they use some of their cash. Okay? So when y'all start your business, think about those 3 things right here. Okay? There's another slide that's tied to that talks about scale. Does anybody know what scale is? What's scale? Yes. It means you grow your company. Okay? Grow your company. So, let me tell you how scale works. We get this up real quick. If I own a company, it's a $100,000 company, and I got a 10% return, what is my return? $10,000. So if I scale that company up to $1 million, and I get the same 10% return, $100,000. So what is the beauty of scale? That means I can scale my company and have lower margins and still make more money. You understand that? That's why scale is important. Okay? If you start a business, think about scaling your business. How can you scale it? Use those 3 methods right there. All right? There we go. Oh. So there we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. And then really quick, real estate. Okay? So Adrian owns a business. Okay? Adrian wants to buy some real estate. So Adrian took her business and put it in real estate. So Adrian, and this is real life, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So so you get paid by your business.
Yes.
Do you also get paid by the real estate?
Yes.
So she has a lease from her business to the holding company, LLC, that she talked about in her business. Adrian, is it cheaper to buy a business? Or is it cheaper to buy real estate, or is it cheaper to rent real estate?
Buy it.
Buy it. Okay? So here's the ways. This is what you need to buy real estate. You got to structure an LLC holding company. Okay? You need to have some liquidity. We talked about investable assets liquidity. You need to structure a lease, and I'm going by this fast. Structure a lease to where you're 1.25 times. This is sophisticated, all right? This is sophisticated. What does this mean, Herman? This means for every dollar of debt, I need $1.25 of income of cash flow. For every dollar of debt, I need $1.25 of income for cash flow. So when y'all go to buy some commercial real estate, keep that in mind. Keep the liquidity in mind. The collateral will take care of itself. We do an appraisal, that's fine. The structure is important, okay? We want positive leverage, all right? Real quick, what positive leverage is if I borrow money at 5% and my return is 10%, that means I have positive leverage. Y'all get tired? I'm throwing a lot of information out at y'all. And then this is just the structure of a real estate holding company. So Adrian, very similar to this, where she owns it in a holding company, but then she has an operating company. Oh, crap. She has an operating company that pays the holding company. Okay? Now, you can have investors and all of that, but you don't need that. Okay? I just wanted y'all to get a little seed of what commercial real estate looks like, what business expansion looks like, what investing in the market looks like. Okay? And then ultimately, this is some different real estate things. Ultimately, it's income versus wealth. Generational income, generational wealth is on the bottom. Income is on the top. Income is non-transferable. So when you die, your income dies. Y'all hear that? When you die, your income dies. However, if you purchase income-producing assets, it can be generational. So when you die, it transfers to somebody. The goal is to make sure it transfers to your loved ones.
Let me jump and say this one last thing before y'all go.
Mm-hmm.
I rented for 10 years. My rent at my commercial space was $1,600. I looked it up to see how much the landlord paid for that strip mall I was in. He paid $55,000 for a strip mall in the 1980s. It's worth $2 million plus now.
Woo.
And has probably 6 tenants. I moved, bought my commercial space, kind of like what Herman showed you on the screen. I saved $600 when I bought my space, and I can pass that space down to my children. It's appreciated in value by $200,000 since I bought it.
Hey, listen up, guys. Hey, thank you for your attention. Give Mr. Hicks and Ms. Adrian a round of applause. Hey, as you leave, Mr. Hicks has a program called Success Saturdays. So if you want to find out some more information about that, go ahead and talk to him and find out his contact information.
I will send Mr. Norton the next flyer.
Okay.
I'll send y'all the next flyer for our next one.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't get no picture either. I know y'all got to go.